What is going on, guys? Welcome to, well, tonight's video, I guess, because it is later on in the evening. But we are gonna go ahead in this video and put on the TRD lower grille as well as the fog lights. I did get some yellow tint in, which I'm really excited to show you how I'm gonna install those. Without further ado, guys, let's get into this video. And if you guys haven't already, definitely like, subscribe, and at the end of this video, watch all the way through. It'll be worth it. Comment down below what you guys think, because I love your guys' feedback. Let's get into it. Start the intro.
Search everywhere.
All right, guys, so we are now inside the house in my room because we are going to be putting these overlays on these fog lights, and it is currently about 34 to 35 degrees outside, and because of that, these overlays would have absolutely no chance of drying efficiently outside. So we're gonna go ahead and install them in here, and then we're gonna go back outside while waiting for these to seal completely. We're gonna go back outside and we're going to fabricate or modify the lower TRD grill to go ahead to install it onto the Matrix. I'm no expert at doing this at all, so hopefully I don't make mistakes, but it's relatively similar to putting tint on, which I've put tint on before, and I'm going to do the same steps as you would for tint, which involves a water bottle. So you're going to spray it on and make sure that it is clean, the surface is clean, which these are brand new fogs, so we shouldn't have any issue with them being dirty, but I definitely want to make sure that the overlay goes on nicely and we, have everything laid out. So before we get started, I just wanted to give a huge shout out to JDM FV for providing these fog light overlays. I did purchase them completely. Definitely want to give them a shout out because they offer this overlay and very high quality from what I can tell, and they perfectly match the shape of the fog light. So now that we have pretty much the base of what we're looking for, where the middle section is nice and laid down the way we want it to, now what we're gonna do, try to get all of the water that's between the layer of the lens and the tint. We're gonna try to get that out as best as possible, and then use a heat gun. We're gonna get it decently hot enough that it's hot to the feel. And we're going to slowly go around and heat up the edges. A butane torch would work a lot better in this instance, but since we're doing it in the room, I want to make sure this is controlled, and it'll basically act like heat shrink. You just want to fold the tint over. You can do this in a couple passes. It doesn't have to be like the first pass gets it done. What you're trying to do is you're trying to heat up the overlay so that it folds nicely down, and you want to just keep applying heat so that it becomes basically one with the lens. You don't want to overdo the heat though, because that will actually crinkle the overlay, and you don't want that to happen. You want it to lay down as nice and flat as possible, and then we also want to make sure the edges are laid down as nice as possible too, so that we don't have any chance of the overlay lifting at all. And then I'm just going to use an old card, and I'm going to smooth out all the places that the overlay might have kinked a little bit. This isn't going to be perfect. I'm okay with that. I don't do this professionally. I know it's something that I am able to do. It's within my capabilities of doing. And like I said, a butane torch would be very helpful. I don't want to use it in the house because that's just asking for trouble. So far, we're looking pretty good, to be honest. I have no complaints so far. And you want to take your time with this. Patience is definitely what you want to do on this, because if you're not patient, And if you rush this, then it's not going to come out as nice as you want it to. We're just massaging the edges in, because then we will hit it again with the heat gun. Obviously, you're not going to be looking straight at the fog light, like it's going to be from a distance, so it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to look like it's a part of the lens, which it definitely has that appeal to it so far. So I'm really happy with this product. And as you apply heat, just go around the perimeter. And I do really like the fact that this overlay by JDM FV, I really like how it's the same shape as the fog light, because it's just a lot easier to work with and a lot easier to fold the edges on. It's not where you have to cut it and get it perfectly, because it's more room for error. And especially with overlay, the more room for error you have, the less likely it's going to look the way it needs to. But dude, look at that. This looks like it came yellow. Like, that's awesome. I love that. And we're just gonna finalize it by heating up all the edges. And the cool thing about this too is that at any point in time, if I'm not really feeling the overlay anymore, I can just peel it off. And unfortunately, after you peel it off, you can't use it again, because it's going to be already stuck in the way it is, and it's just not going to be able to be reused. We're just going to let that sit for a little bit so that it adheres all the way. And while we do that, I'm going to do the other side, and it's going to be the exact same, so I will show you guys when both of these are finished. Let's go. Alright, so we are done with both of them. I've come to realize that tint is very similar to bodywork and paint, because I am not a professional and I don't claim to be, and I kind of don't even know what I'm doing. I had to actually look up a YouTube video on exactly how to do the process, because I knew heat was involved. I just didn't know how you had to do it, because with tint you let the sun do the work because it's a hot day, but with overlays you have to use a heat gun or a butane torch. I mean, honestly, it's crazy because on camera they look so much more vibrant than they do in person, which usually is the opposite way around. Usually they don't look as good on camera, but then in person they look better. So I'm actually really excited on how these turned out. Overlay is very similar to bodywork, because you have to be okay with being at a stopping point. You can go back to said whatever you're working on, but you kind of have to give it a rest. You kind of have to come back to it with fresh eyes, if that makes sense. And with this, it's very similar. You can keep going at it no matter how much you want to. It will come to a point where there's nothing more you can do to fix it. And once you put heat, it's kind of a point of no return, because once you peel it off, unfortunately, the tint is already like formed to where it wants to be. And if you put it back on again, it's just going to start crumbling and start to basically do what like heat shrink does. Once you heat it, it shrinks up. You kind of have to be okay with not being okay. And up here on the top, it was kind of a little bit more than I wanted to. The overlay kind of hung a little bit more, so I tried to put a little bit more heat to make it fit this corner a little bit better, which, like I said, it's one of those things where you can keep going at it, but there needs to be a stopping point. You need to be able to be okay with the product that you have and not go further, because the further you go, the results you want, you will pretty much destroy it without even realizing it. Just keep in mind when you're doing tint to always know your stopping point, know when you're okay with it being not okay, and that's why you have to plan and you have to lay things out so thoughtfully, because you only get one chance at the heat, and so you want to make sure everything is exactly where it needs to be, so as soon as you put heat through to it, it won't disappoint you. So I'm really excited on how they came out, to be honest with you. I'm going to leave these in the house for a little bit longer, just because it's hot in here. I want it to cure nicely. My fear is when I go outside, the cold is going to make the overlay It might help it a little bit, but I want to make sure that the heat will be able to cure it. We're gonna go ahead and go outside into the garage, and we're going to modify that grill. So without further ado, let's go ahead and do this, because if I wait any longer, then I'm probably going to not want to do this, and we're gonna do it. There's no ifs, ands, or turning back. We're going for it. We already did step 1 of the hardest part, so now we have to go to step 2. So let's get it done. Let's do it. All right, guys. So we are test fitting the TRD grill, and it looks like this bolt right here and this bolt right here the grill itself and the inside's gonna have to be drilled. We're gonna go ahead and drill those holes out right here and right here. I basically just want to get a baseline of how this is gonna look as flush as possible, because then we'll be able to get an indication of how much of the sides that we have to trim in order for it to look nice and for the fog lights to stick out. So let's go ahead, take this off, and see what we're looking at. All right, so what we're gonna do to get those indication marks going is we're going to go ahead and take our drill bit set. So we're gonna go 13/64 right there. That way it'll be nice and flush in that hole, and if we need to make it bigger, we can. I just don't want to go too big. If you go too big with the drill bit, then it will be very unstable, but you can always go bigger, so go smaller just for that initial drill. I like to use a big battery, because then we have plenty of time to drill, even though it's not going to be that long. And go look at our indication marks, which there's an indication mark here and here. Get this other one drilled out. That one's a little bit messier than the other one. It'll still get the job done, and you will not see any of this once the grill goes on. So let's go ahead and test fit that grill again and see where we are at. Okay, so after a lot of going back and forth trying to get those holes drilled out, we finally have a rough idea of what it's going to look like. So thing is, I noticed with this, it lines up with the OEM grill hose pretty well. I'm hoping that once I put the screws in the back, this will tighten up. It should, but looks really good so far. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to trace out this fog light, and I'm going to basically take off this side and that side fog. I wanted to keep this, but the problem is as soon as like you get close enough to getting where the fog light should be, this whole side's gonna fall off, and same on this side. So I'm sure some of you are gonna be kind of upset about that. It's one of those things where I don't plan on selling this TRD grill anytime soon. I'm planning on running it on my Matrix for a long run, but at least now it'll be XRS specific. Don't worry, I'm going to do everything very thoroughly, and I'm not going to make it look like crap. I'm going to turn the grill into an XRS only, because then the fog lights will be able to be shown. And honestly, I think it's the way it should have came, if that makes sense. Like they should have just had the TRD grill come this way anyways, because if you think about it, the XRS is the highest trim level with the 6-speed that come with the fog lights for the first gen Matrix anyways for the grill. And if I'm wrong, correct me down below, because I know you guys will. I feel like the XRS is the top trim line. This will just make it better. But what I am going to be doing, don't worry, if I do end up parting ways with this TRD grill, I'm going to keep the cuts, and whoever has it next, if you guys want to weld it on and grind down the weld so that it's all nice and flush, you guys can go ahead and do that. But since I want to be a little bit different, and I want my Matrix to stand out, even though it is a freaking monster truck right now with the fitment, this is going to be that one step closer to standing out, at least the way I want it to. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the cutting. Hopefully by the end of this video, we'll be able to install the fog lights in. Let's go ahead and get to trimming. Let's go. Alright, so we have a good idea of where the cut is going to have to be. So then come over, and I believe it's going to be like that. Just like that. And I'm still going to use the cardboard, don't worry guys. Like, I just want to have a general idea of how far in it's going to be, so that as soon as I make the marks on the back, I can go ahead and cut it. So that's roughly where we're going to have to cut. So everything on the inside of this is going to be okay, and everything on the outside of this is going to be gone. So let's do the same thing on this side, which should be a little bit easier to follow the line because I can kind of look underneath it. So right there and right here. The only thing I'm worried about is as soon as I make these cuts, this whole section's going to want to flex out because this whole section's kind of held in by here and here. So I have a feeling as soon as I cut it, this whole thing's gonna bulge out, but I feel like it's gonna look good. So let's go ahead and take this out, do some cardboard cuts of the inside of the fog light so that we're doing the right cuts. I'll be right back with that. Alright guys, so we can put this on the list of dumb things that I am doing. I realized that I need to get this fog light situation done because, well, one, I need to use the fog lights because I'm going to go on a snowboard / skate trip with some homies, and also two, the holidays are coming up. I do need to figure out how to bring the Matrix coaster though, because it's kind of far out. I think I can somehow drive it up here. I just wanted to get it as close as possible to the garage so that we can get as much done on it as possible. It is coming down, as you can see. Everything's getting very much wet and very much snowed out. This is fun. So I don't know if you guys can see on camera, but we do have an outline of what we need to trim. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm basically gonna try to stay on the outer side because I want the fog light to be able to slip in nice and easily on both sides. Same thing here. You guys can see there's an outline. So I guess all there is to do now is bring the tool out and get her done. So this is like the most make or break project I've done to the Matrix because this piece is very hard to find. But like I said previously, if anyone wants to put it back together, I'm not going to throw away the pieces I cut off. I'm actually going to keep them. So if anyone else wants them in the future, you guys will be able to just weld it back together and then shave down. But this way, at least, anyone that wants to put these on a Matrix XRS 2003-2004 year, the first gen, will have that opportunity because this will all be already cut through, and I'm really excited to see how it does. Don't really know how it's gonna look. I hope it looks good. That's something we're gonna have to see. So if you guys haven't already, definitely like, subscribe, and comment down below what you guys think is gonna happen. I have faith that this is gonna be really, really good. I'm gonna clamp this down on here so that I can get a nice cut right here, and then I'm gonna flip it around, clamp it again so that we have a nice cut on both sides. I'm also going to use the cardboard assisted design to use it as a clamping force so that the actual finish of the inside doesn't get ruined. I don't think there's anyone else out there that is running a TRD grill for a Matrix XRS that has the fog lights cut off. Plus this and the JDM fog lights and the LEDs is just going to look super sick. So first time being able to use the Bear battery powered rotary tool. Super excited about it. See how it goes. So wish me luck. Let's get it done. now. So here's one side done. I will clean it up and deburr it, as well as put some black spray paint, or I think I have some Rider liner just to make sure it doesn't want to rust or anything. I think the only thing that's appropriate to do right now is to test fit it with half of it. Don't know how that all happened. I'll go ahead and spray paint that. Let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, it looks good. It's not as flush as I wanted it to be, but I think that looks dope. And it fits a lot better too. Oh, that looks good. I'm excited about that. All right, now that we have seen one side, let's go ahead and do the other side real quick and get this done. That actually makes me super excited. Hell yeah, that actually fits so well. So and then after we trim the other side, we'll go ahead and just make sure that these edges aren't as sharp. Yeah, so far so good. So let's try do the other side. It was hard to get the curves right, unfortunately. Yeah, as you can see, it looks like, yeah, I could have gone a little bit wider in this area right here. I should have gone a little bit wider actually on that area so it was closer, but honestly from far away you won't even be able to notice it, and I think it looks good. So let's go ahead and clamp this side down and do the same thing. This is the final product, the final piece. See how it looks. I definitely think this side came out better than this side just because of that, but we're gonna fix that anyway, so not really an issue. Let's see how she looks. She's there, nice. Oh yeah, this one, this side's way better, 100% better. This in just a little bit so that the fog light can hit, because I think the fog light rests right up there, so I just want to make sure that the fog light has enough space. So we'll go ahead, take this out one more time. Let's trim that side down just a little bit, and we'll be Gucci. Oh, I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome. I'm so excited. It looks so good, especially with the fog lights on too. You're not even gonna know that this was even modified because it's gonna blend in with the OEM grill so well. But honestly, I'm excited because now I'll be able to use the fog lights, and I don't think anyone is either brave, stupid, or dumb enough to do this, but I'm really glad that I am kind of taking a risk to see how it's gonna look, because I think it's gonna look amazing and the risk is gonna be rewarded for sure. So let's go ahead and trim this up a little bit. It's gonna look so good. It's gonna look so good. All right. Let's get it. All right, we are getting the car warmed up and just got done with the install, and I'm very excited on how this turned out, to be completely honest with you. Never have I had 2 working fog lights, and they are yellow now. Hell yeah, they look so sick. And these also are halogens, so once I put in the LEDs, they're gonna be way brighter, but that completes the look. I'm so happy with that. Oh my God. Also, I have to go get some washers for the back, some bigger washers, so that I can put the nut on, because right now it'll hold. It's not, this ain't going anywhere, but I definitely want it to be a little bit more secure. I have to figure out why this side isn't going into the little space underneath there, as that side is really nicely. So we have to finesse it a little bit. We're gonna have to work with it. We have to get some fine-tuning done. But honestly, the TRD grill being cut for the fog lights, I don't think I could have done it any better, and they couldn't have turned out any better. I'm extremely excited. and so happy because I need fog lights for the snow, and obviously, as you see behind me, it's snow season is here. It's starting to come down hard, so I'm so excited. I still need to do this headlight because it is really bad, but I'm really excited that I'm gonna be able to completely change the look of this car as far as lighting goes, because I have a whole entire LED package for the car, but I'm gonna show that to you guys in probably a later episode, just because I want to unbox everything and then I want to install everything and see the difference. But I definitely want to get this headlight restored a little bit better, which today is obviously not that day. It is way too cold, but I wanted to make sure that this fog light got done, and I am extremely over the moon with it. I cannot tell you how excited I am for the yellow overlay, as well as just putting the TRD one on. It's funny too, because like the TRD one actually mimics the holes of the rear, so technically you do have a TRD grille if you have an XRS. It's just plastic and not metal. That's kind of the only difference, to be completely honest with you, from what I can tell. But, and I don't know why they went circles. They could have gone any other way, but you know what? It was the 2000s. Circles were in, and this car looks so sick. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of a just an overall walk around with this car, because this car definitely deserves it. It's been through a lot, and I needed to wash it, but thank God it snowed, so now I don't. Hope you guys enjoy this cinematic, because I feel like it's gonna be a good one. So let's go ahead, get right into that. Alright y'all, so we just got done putting on the final touches. I guess all I can do now is show you guys, so let's go ahead and take a look. I went ahead and put some washers in there, and I put a nylon one as well as just a regular one on all four of these lower ones. The middle one didn't really feel like it needed it, and it is very secure. It's on the bottom lip right here, which kind of doesn't make it match up with the entire bumper. As you can see up here, there's kind of a lip, but it does look really good, especially with the fogs. I love how it looks. In retrospect, I could have probably gone a little bit farther up, because I didn't have the fog light installing it when we went ahead and actually, you know, put the grill up. We didn't have the fog lights in, and because of that, it kind of didn't make it fit all the way flush. But you know what, I'm very excited, and I'm very happy with how it came out. It looks like you wouldn't even notice it. You really wouldn't. Honestly, the top grill is more of the centerpiece. It's what catches your eye right off the bat, and then the lower one's kind of just an accent. So I'm just glad that I got both of them on, and it looks as good as it's going to get. We do need to get the wheels situated. I actually just got the adapters in this last week, so once I get those all figured out and get put on, then the new wheels will be put on. So I'm really happy and excited. I know you guys are too. That's probably going to be the next video. And then also the video after that is going to be completely converting this car to LEDs from halogens. Or I want to do that video though. I really want to clear this headlight up like I've been saying. So we're gonna just wait for a warm day just to do that, make it look just as nice as the other one, and go from there. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. I know it was one of the longer ones, but I love to show you guys step by step what I do, even if it takes a lot longer, because sometimes it's nice to be able to just like get the job done and show you guys the finished result. But with this project, and especially this project, I wanted to show you guys the start to finish, just so that you guys, if you guys want to follow suit, you guys can, but if not, you can at least see it done. So I think it looks amazing. I'm really proud of how it came out. With that being said, guys, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and thank you guys so much for watching this video all the way through. If you guys haven't already, definitely join the Ohana and subscribe, and also like this video. Comment down below what you guys think. What do you guys think? I'm pretty much sold on it, but that's also because I did it. Also, guys, don't forget that I will be doing the whole announcement on the 1,000 subscriber giveaway. I'm very excited for it. I will be doing the announcement on Instagram, so if you guys haven't already, definitely follow my personal Instagram as well as the Hammer Down Restorations business Instagram, because that's where we're going to find it out. We'll make sure to include everyone because this is one of the biggest achievements so far that I've got on YouTube. So we're going to include everyone. We're going to give back to everyone to say mahalos to you guys. But with that being said, I'm going to let you guys go. You guys have a good rest of your day. Always remember, never forget, always stay positive and stay true to who you are. Till next time, guys. So much to do, so much progress to make, and we're only getting started. So all new law. Until next time, yes sir. Shoots. Gee. Take care. Peace.